What's up, everybody? This is your man, DJ Square Knot, and you're tuned into my podcast, Square Knot Live, where we talk about music, real issues, meet great people, and get into fun and engaging topics. With that being said, let's get into it. What's up? What's up? What's up? So it's good. It's so good to be back. Of course, I'm your man, DJ Square Knot. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a treat for you today. We have this awesome entrepreneur that I definitely wanted to just tap into because I follow her on social media and just been watching the things that she's been doing. And something was like, you know what, reach out to her and just tell her this. And hopefully in the midst of her busy schedule, we could get her on to talk about herself and the things that she is doing, because she's doing a lot, but we're going to talk about all of that. Who am I talking about? None other than Philly's O.P.R.A.H, Shelly Shell Williams. What's up? How you doing?
Hi, everybody. How are you? Thank you for that awesome introduction. Thank you for having me.
Yes. It's truly an honor to have you. And it's truly an honor to just be able to be on here with you and really to get a chance to really get to know more about you and learn about the many different hats that you wear and the different things that you do in all of your endeavors. And I told Shelly that I wanted to dig deep and go more in depth on her everything that she's doing, so that people could really understand just how much work this woman has put in behind the scenes and how connected she is, and in some cases was in some other things that you actually were watching on TV or have heard about or something. And she was behind the scenes doing all that stuff. It's just really amazing. So, but before we get real deep into that, what I want to do is I want Shelly, I want you to tell us who you are, where you're from.
Who am I? I am Shelly Shell Williams, Philly's O.P.R.A.H, and I am a child of the Most High God. And I am from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Yes, Philly. You know that place. We start trouble, right? Ain't that what that was said?
Represent. So, in reading about you, because you know, I had met you through my man DJ Kid Disco.
Yes.
And we were on some of his podcasts, and we were sitting there and we were talking about, he said, yo, I'm gonna bring on Shelly Shell, and we're going to talk about her. She's gonna do her show. And I said, what is the show? And it's Single on a Saturday Night. And I said, okay. I said, well, that'll be really interesting to hear about what that is, and be able to kind of get some different perspectives on things as it relates to what, you know, the surface of the topic, Single on Saturday Night. So once you started explaining it, I was like, oh, okay. Totally understand that now. But for those who don't understand what Single on a Saturday Night is, enlighten them.
Single on a Saturday Night is a relationship talk show. Pure and simple, is not just for singles. It is for people who want to talk about relationships. And we've been in a relationship since we came out the womb. So we talk about love, life, sex, parenting, all kinds of things that goes along with life and relationships. And it's been on for 8 years. In February, we will be 9 years old. So we made our television debut in 2012 on Telemundo, which we were the only English-speaking show on Telemundo. Never been done before, never heard of, but we were the only English-speaking show. I had that show, and Urban Expressions was on Telemundo at that time. So Yes, relationship talk show, and I am single on a Saturday night.
So let's talk about let's dive into that a little bit. So you're single
Mm.
and you chose on a Saturday night. What was the what is the message behind being single on a Saturday night? Because if you're single every day of the week at that point. But what is it about Saturday? What made you think about Saturday?
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. There was a young lady on my show, which was Urban Expressions, which is what I was known. What I'm known for was Urban Expressions. Jade Austen. She had an album and a song called "Single on a Saturday Night." And I had been doing Urban Expressions for like well over 10 years, 15 years, and I was looking for something new, and I prayed about my next endeavor. God, what do you want me to do? What should I be doing? And he gave me simply said, "Single on a Saturday Night, Jade Austen." Ask Jade Austen, can you use her song? Ask her management, can they come in and help me do the beginning parts of it and be a part of the beginning? So Jade Austen wrote this song, and really the whole, it's one of those phrases that we all know. Oh, another Saturday night single. So I think that's just where she got it from, and it's just one of those Saturday nights. So I got that from her. It was an amazing song, and that's how "Single on a Saturday Night." It was literally was God's literal direction. Here. He gave me step by step instructions on how to do it. And one of the first instructions was be the host, right? I was used to being behind the scenes, and he asked me to be the host, and I was being disobedient, and I got myself another host, and I put a person in place as well as a panel of people, and so I put this host in place, and that first day, I chickened out. Basically, I was just sitting there like, I'm scared. He's better than me. Oh, so scared. But he did it. He offended every person in there. He's an awesome, amazing person. Love him. He's a great supporter of the show. It just happens to be some people got offended and they said, we don't want him. If he's the host of the show, we're not coming back.
Mm.
So that was God's way of saying, I told you what to do. And then I had no choice but to be the host along with a whole cast of other people, which was Danielle Patterson, David Scott, Melisha Cheatham. It's a whole, I don't Nikki Feltz. Through the years, through the 8 years, it's been some consistency. Everybody's consistent, but different people on the panel might have changed back and forth. But consistently, David Scott, Danielle, she was on from the beginning. David on from the beginning, and they've just been right there. But I'm the host. I had to do what God said for me to do, because isn't that a way? He has a way of getting your attention like none other. You couldn't have told me he didn't orchestrate that. You couldn't have told me that. Like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean you're not coming back? And so I had to step up to the calling that God gave me, which was this. Not my desire. It wasn't my thought. People might think that you want to be out in the forefront, but that's not my desire. It was never.
I hear
But
that.
God.
Hey, he works in mysterious ways, and I'll be the first to tell you that he'll send you a message. He'll definitely send you a message, and just like the conversation I had with you when I reached out to you, because I awoke with you on my mind. That was, like I said, that was the weird thing. And then I go and I'm getting myself together that morning. And the first, after I check my emails and everything, I go through IG. I get into the habit now of checking my IG because I get in contact with so many artists and other people that way now. And and I'm scrolling. First, I see a picture of a buddy of mine. Then I scroll up and I see some advertisement. And then who do I see next? Shelly Shell. And I was like, okay, you know what? And then something was like, reach out to her, tell her, and that's when I was like, you know what? I got to do this. I got to reach out. And what was my last word in this sentence? I must be obedient. Remember, I said I'm being obedient.
Yep, you're being
Um,
obedient.
yeah, I'm being obedient. Because when we don't, like you say, it'll circle right back around to you regardless.
Yeah, it
So,
does. It gets your attention in ways you would never believe, and that's amazing. It's funny. You reached out to me, and I had been thinking about interviews, and I'm doing 30 interviews in 30 days where I'm interviewing other people.
right.
But I was thinking about how do I get the message out? Because a friend of mine did my media kit, and she said, I didn't know all this. I didn't know this. And she didn't know what. And I'm like, if she doesn't know anything, and then how maybe I'm not messaging myself correctly and getting my message across to know exactly what I do in this world. So I was wondering who could do that. When do I get that? When does that happen? So, and you just happen to right there. And so, like I said, God has a way of, doing what we need. He says, I will supply all your needs. Not to get all,
Oh, yeah.
preachy, but God said, I will supply all your needs, and he really does.
Yeah, he definitely does. And there's nothing wrong with speaking about God. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. As a matter of fact, I'd rather you speak about him than something else. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, but speaking of your press, your media kit, um, I just want to read it because
Woo.
people will never know this about you because you don't really put it out there, from everything that I've seen. And then also coming to your interviews, I've watched a ton of interviews, and who always has the mic? You. It's very rare that someone is interviewing you.
Yeah,
You may,
no.
and as you're interviewing someone, they may ask you a question or two, but to really dig into Shelly Shell, I just didn't see it unless I missed it somewhere. But
No, not in it. They haven't dug in the way that gets into the other than urban expressions, and urban expressions was wonderful. Urban expressions was it is not was it is it still is the thing. But basically I am more than urban expressions.
right, right,
I am definitely more than that. Life and urban expressions wasn't just, hey, I'm just on the TV. I was literally, the people didn't know I was the mechanics behind it.
right,
Part of the mechanics. We're a team, but I was part of the mechanics behind it, making sure we kept going.
right. So I'm gonna read this because I think this is fitting for us to really know. This is just one of the things, but I want to make sure that I read this. Is this okay?
Yes, yes, yes,
All
yes.
right. So
Sure.
it says about Shelly Shell, and it says quick facts: 3 times Billboard award-winning television producer with the Will Smith Award and Media Mogul Award. Climbed the corporate ladder from an intern to an executive producer on Urban Expressions, the longest running video show in the Delaware Valley. A mentee of the late Dorothy E. Brunson, the first African American woman to own a TV and radio show. Her contributions are featured in Oprah Winfrey's exhibit in the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture. Then we have some other quick facts over here. Man is a social media Man is the social media strategy for Foreman Mills on national and local functions for 35 stores in 10 states and specialty projects like True TV's hit shows Hardcore Porn, CBS TV shows, Undercover Boss, nationwide store grand openings, executive producer of Single on a Saturday Night and Motivation Monday Mentors Network. And then, of course, you go into your services, which we're going to talk about those a little bit later. So you were behind the scenes on TV shows that we were watching, binge watching, because you could go on like Netflix or any other place and watch Undercover Boss, or go on Hulu and watch Undercover Boss. Hardcore Porn, I used to watch that all the time.
Did you hardcore porn? Yeah,
Yeah.
Les Gold and his daughter Ashley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a chance to work with them with Foreman Mills. They were I don't know what spokespeople or whatever. So we did like meet and greets with them in Detroit. Almost forgot to say in Detroit. So we did meet and greets, but they came to the store and people came to meet them. That was in what part of Michigan? It was It wasn't Detroit. It was in one of the smaller ones in Michigan. And we did it here in Philadelphia at the Aramingo store. And so yeah, I did the social media, the marketing, as well as the other team. And to me, it's like sometimes you pinch yourself. You're like, is this my life? Is this really happening? You know, I get to be a part of the mechanism that makes things go. It is marketing is my love. Social media is I remember in all my stories will go back to God because it is only him. I give him the glory because I remember that day. It was years ago. I can't remember how many years ago. I was sitting and I said, God, literally, I'm sitting in front of the computer saying, God, I love social media. I want to get paid for it. Can you help me out? And no sooner than I gave that, I get offered up that prayer to God in sincerity. It was like this. It was just like, God, I love social media. Can I get paid for it? And a week later, I get a call from the CEO and owner of Foreman Mills saying, "Hey, let's just go do let's do breakfast." And I said, "All right, cool. Let's have breakfast." So we go, and that in itself, to have that kind of, we're talking about Foreman Mills is a, multi-million-dollar company, but he said, let's just do breakfast. That's because he was our sponsor for Urban Expressions all those years. But anyway, so we go do breakfast and then we're just talking, busting it up, regular conversation, eating the food. I think I was eating more than he was, but that's a different story. But so I'm eating the food and then we're just talking. And he was like, wow, your ideas are great. How about this time you do it from the inside? Say what? You mean like work in the inside instead of me doing all my work on the outside? So this was my, come on in. So he offered me a position that I could not refuse. Oh man, it was awesome and amazing. I was the creative slash, see, everything there had a slash because you got to do a lot of jobs. So creative, social media, and community relations manager. Everything that I love to do, everything that embodies what I do. And I mean, I was able to do social media, TV, community, meaning I get to help people in the community, create programs that help people in the community. That right there, and it's somebody else's money. Woo! That's a win-win situation. You're talking about man. So I created this $100,000 give back giveaway, and it was cold weather items. So in every area that we were, so we were from Philly, Maryland, Detroit, Chicago, Cleveland, and all the other ones. I can't remember every state, but we get to everyone, and in each market we give out $10,000 worth of cold weather items. That's hats, coats, scarves, 10,000 free. Wow. Different people in that area. And so I had to create a way to get this out to a mass people, the mass audience. So I connected with radio stations in those areas and what's it called? Charity. So something like Salvation Army. What was the other one? Great charities. Salvation Army, Boys and Boys Clubs of America, things like that. All types of charities in those areas that have a mass amount of people that need. So in each market, we have people lined up with vouchers to get these cold weather items. And the Foreman Mills prices are so awesome that you get one voucher for $25. You can get 5 coats. No, I'm just exaggerating, but that's how good the prices are. But that right there to me is I get to get paid a great salary and give back to people. People don't know this. But to me, I don't know if you understand how passionate I am about this. That is my heart. And I want this to happen another day, one day, with another company, use their money to give back to people. Cool. So yeah, that was Foreman Mills. I love Foreman Mills. Foreman Mills is still a part of me, been a part of me since 1992 or so. They've been a sponsor of Urban Expressions and Single on a Saturday Night.
That's awesome. You know, from everything that you said, without a doubt, you can see it, definitely see the passion. But then also, you know, I see the impact that you had. You know, just imagine you're traveling to all these different states and you're providing cold weather items to individuals who need them. You potentially saved lives, because when people don't have these simple necessities, sometimes life is lost. So just think about what you were able to do through the help of your company, of the company backing you, and you being in that position, you know, and they got to know who Shelly Shell was, and you're out there on the forefront. You're doing all these different things. So, and they show you, you're showing them love, and it's being reciprocated, hopefully, as they saw you come in and you're bringing these types of things. You're trying to help them, and just wanting to be able to help someone, you know, that shows that you have a very kind spirit and you have a very strong and a beautiful heart. So kudos to you, because there are a lot of people that say they want to do those things, but you actually did it.
You
And
know, I give God all
yeah.
glory for all of this. You know, He placed me where He needs me to be. I ask God always use me. You know, and sometimes using you it may deplete you, or it may all of a sudden you feel like you're on top of the world, and you may have to go through some struggles, because along the way there were some struggles. You know, you had to. You know, sometimes there was no money. Sometimes there was no this. You know, throughout the time. But you say God used me, that means in any capacity He's going to do it, even in the middle of a struggle. But I give God glory for all of the positions that He's given me. I don't take it for granted. I don't take it lightly, uh, because I couldn't do it. It's not me. It's not me. It's the power of the Lord Jesus Christ. It really is. You know,
In the
I
middle.
have to give Him glory. You know, woo.
Yeah.
It's not my. It wasn't my ordained. It wasn't. I didn't plan out any of this. This wasn't like, hey, this is my life. I'm gonna plan this out. This wasn't part of my plan. Mm-mm. If I'd have been shrunk in the back somewhere like this.
But see, in all of that, you know, you know, I've heard some people say, even in the worst storms, there's a little bit of calm. And what I mean by that, if you really think about it, if you think about a hurricane comes through, and in the center of that hurricane, it's totally peaceful in the center.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's just one of those things that we have to think about in terms of how we respond to what he tells us, what God tells us to do. And know that even no matter what the situation is, we walk into it with faith, and we walk into it with focus, and know that we're going to be able to come out on the other side unscathed, with the mission accomplished, and elevating ourselves to the next level. And
Absolutely.
you definitely have done that. And on top of that, you did it with the love of everything that you like to do, marketing and social media. So, so that's the beauty of it right there. That is truly, truly the beauty of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that is truly a blessing on that. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about is, of course, I remember when I first heard you say this, and several others were saying it as well. And you say and even when you go to the website, it says, um, and just as I introduced you, as a matter of fact, Shelly Shell Williams, Philly's Oprah. Now, people automatically, when it's like that, and you say Philly's Oprah, they only hear Oprah as the name, but Oprah is actually an acronym.
Mm-hmm.
And when I read what that acronym was, I was like, oh smokes, she that's like really has this like all laid out, and it
Mm-hmm.
fits perfectly. So for the first time, you know what? As a matter of fact, do you want me to read it, or do you want to tell people what?
No, I don't have it down pat.
Okay.
I haven't actually read it in a long. I haven't read it in a long time. But I can also tell you, you know, when people think, why would anybody call themselves? You're not Oprah. Why do you call yourself Philly's Oprah? It wasn't me. It was someone else. It was someone's else. People did that. They would say, "You like Philly's Oprah. You like Philly's Oprah." And sometimes when you do a lot of stuff, when
Mm-hmm.
you have so many different dimensions, people don't know what you are. So if I say something like Philly's Oprah, Oprah itself, she does so many things. So
Mm-hmm.
it helps you to understand that I'm not one dimensional. I don't just do this TV show. I don't just do this. I do TV, media. I do writing
Mm-hmm.
for print. I do this. So it's to tell you that I'm more than just one thing, not just television.
Right, right, exactly. And you tapped into what those things are, as a matter of fact. So I'm going to read you what the acronym O.P.R.A.H is. The O stands for online video marketing for social media. The P is producer of TV and media content. The R is resource agency for TV talent. The A is for advertising sales for TV, and the H is for host and speaker. And then you go on in your explanations that I read, you go over each of those. And I sat back and I was like, okay, now I got it. Because even for myself, for a while, I was like, okay, I know there's something behind it, but I can't quite figure it out yet. But I'm going to find out exactly what that is. And everything that, as far as that acronym is concerned, you actually are 100%. From everything that I've read, from everything that I know about you, everything that I've learned, it's exactly that. You know, I'll just give you a little piece here. Shelly specializes in video marketing for social media. Now, we've been talking about the different aspects of social media and how you have been truly impactful in your work in social media. So it makes perfect sense that video marketing is going to be one of those things. And of course, social media, online. That's the best. That's how you're going to connect with everyone. You're going to connect with everyone. Nowadays, everything is online.
Mm-hmm.
It allows you to, like I was explaining to my group, I think it was sometime last week, we got on this thing and I mentioned about social media. I said, social media is the difference between back in the day where you only operated in your city,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to now you can operate across the world.
That's true.
And that is a huge big difference, because now, instead of you having this little small fingerprint in this one area, you have your whole hand on the globe. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it definitely makes a super huge difference. Um, and then, of course, when I moved down to producer of TV and media content, we definitely talked about Urban Expressions. You are the president and CEO, which is a nonprofit media training program. I'm sorry, president and CEO of Expressions. And then you also are in, let's see, award-winning executive producer for Singing on a Saturday Night. So you're a producer, you're doing this online video marketing, and then resource agency. In addition to TV shows, Shelly's ongoing mission to train youth and adults that have passion for the entertainment field. You know what I really enjoy about you? I really enjoy the fact that the word that resonates and that exudes from you and is truly a part of your fabric is the fact that you like to help people. And then you add that extra layer in there not only is it adults, but you're helping children. And that's where the most impact really is, because children, I know this is cliche, but children truly are the future. So if we train them now and train them up properly, they can take what you've learned, what you've taught them, build on that, and create something new and exciting that could have even more impact, which then creates a legacy of your work. So,
Absolutely, and I want to say that when it comes to that, I always say I'm forever 21, I'm forever young. But there was doing Urban Expressions, we had a teen club. It was called Club UX, and it was a club filled with 900 kids weekly. It was awesome, amazing. But it was more than just, people look at it maybe as a cash cow. Of course, we operate a club that has 900 youth that pay to get in. But more importantly, the team, we had VIP young boys, VIP young girls. That particular team went on to become so many great things. We trained them then. You're talking about Frankie J. He went on to BET, and he interviewed Oprah Winfrey, Russell Simmons, Beyonce, all in one. He was a part of 106 and Park and things like that. BET, Young Sir, he was on the radio. He went on to BET. Jade Austen, of course, she had record deals and things like that. Each person underneath of what we were doing during that time went on to something successful. So I understand. I work more with adults now because I saw what I did in, what we could do in these who are now grown now. They're now grown. They were teenagers. I was a teen with them, but I was a semi team with them, but we actually were able, I love the success of each one of them. There's so many success stories. Furno traveled the world with DJ Jazzy Jeff DJing. When he came to, they were the hosts. Furno and Rockstar P, Pillsbury back then, were the hosts of Club UX, going on to do so many successful things. When I say that, to me, is whatever I do, I know that I've seen success in the people who I worked with when they were teenagers. And I was just a teen myself. Relatively. In my mind, rather.
well, your name is out there, and I'm quite sure these individuals, when they sit down, they take time to reflect across that scroll that is in their mind at that time. I know Shelly Shell has to be one of those individuals that scrolls over this through their minds.
They do. I would say Ike he has clients that are big time clients. He's worked with, Legally Lyons. I can't even remember everybody he's worked with. He's the godson of Black Music Month, June Black Music Month. But every interview he does, he mentions how he began. And of course he mentions Deanna Williams, but he also mentions me and how he got his start as the marketing person and promotions person for Urban Expressions. And to me, that means more than gold. You know what I mean? When someone remembers your name, remembers that I remember starting with you. I remember the humble beginnings, and no matter how big I get, no matter what celebrity I'm with, I'm going to remember where I started. That, oh my gosh, that means so much to me. You know what I mean? To me, and as well as Urban Expressions as a collective whole. So yeah, I love the fact that they think of it. They, maybe not everybody's going to do that. You gotta always remember, not everybody's going to remember their beginnings.
That's true.
Some people will forget where they started, how they got there. But for those that do remember, thank you. I thank you. I humbly thank you right now. But I know those that don't remember.
Well, you know what? The ones that do, they are the ones who will create the impact that will continue to share your work through them. So I would just say, you are a very powerful woman in that sense, and you
Mm-hmm.
may not realize it, but you are a very powerful woman in that sense. To where that impact, again, that word impact keeps coming up, and help keeps coming up. Passionate keeps coming up, because we see it as we look at you on the screen. We see it. We see it in your face. We see it in you and your heart. We can literally see the energy. If right now you had an aura around you, it would be this beautiful color that just showed this essence of who you
Amen.
really are. So that's a beautiful thing. And then going on to let me see, we are at the A. And it says, as a producer, Shelly was responsible for promoting programs and negotiating with broadcasters. Now, from everything that I know about negotiating with broadcasters, that's a lot of work in itself. But correct me if I'm wrong on that.
It, yeah.
Because
It is a lot. It is a lot. Urban Expressions was on a Channel 48, once again owned by Dorothy Brunson, who was the first African American woman to own a TV station. Right, so we were on there for a good, how I don't remember, from 1992 to 2004, from however many years it is, 1992 to 2004. At 2004, Dorothy Brunson decided to sell the station to TBN. Now I can't be mad because it's TBN and it's God's word or whatever. But when she sold it to TBN, that left us without a home. That left us without a TV home. And for the first time in however many years, we didn't have a TV home. Woo! That right there, that was a shock to my system. Once again, I took the prayer. A prayer, prayed. God, is this what I'm supposed to do? Are you taking away because you want me to do something else? God, show me what you want me to do. And then we got to deal with WYBE out here in Philadelphia, and then we were on there for years. So by me taking it to, giving them the what we do, blah blah blah. So Joni C. Helton, she helped got us on. She was the program director at that time. We're on there. Then from there we went to Telemundo. Telemundo, like I said, we were the only English speaking show on a Spanish station like Telemundo. Awesome experience. And then from there we went to Philly Cam, and then and then the rest is internet. But yes, being able to be placed in these particular places, it's negotiating, especially with Telemundo. That was a awesome negotiation that showed me why we you could do something, you could do some things. But so that's where that came from, the negotiating TV to get on in different places. So it was amazing. I had a gospel show that I don't even put it. It should not in my bios anywhere, which it should be. I understand, but I had a gospel show called Gospel Expressions, and that was on back in the day. It was a UPN station. I don't know if you remember. It was UHF, but it was UPN, which was a big station. So that was on in Roanoke, Virginia. So my gospel show was picked up in Roanoke, Virginia. So yeah, the TV just keeps going, and now streaming. Here we are, streaming. You can create your own now. Create your
indeed,
own.
indeed, and that is the beauty of it. And like
Mm-hmm.
I say, of course, for example, here we go again. Even if you're on a radio station, I'm gonna say on a TV station, UPN, CBS, any of those, if they're not really the super large broadcast channels, right? So there's a limitation. So they may be broadcasted in the United States,
Mm-hmm.
but when you talk about streaming, again, it's the entire world. And guess what? At any time,
Mm-hmm.
because you can make the show now, and then people can go back and watch it, especially if it's recorded, can go back and watch it anytime they want. If you do it on a podcast, they can listen to it. If you, of course, like I said, with the recording, you do that. Or if it's something where you can have it download, they could just take that download, carry it with them, and play it any time of the day, do anything. So uh,
Mm-hmm.
that's where I am thankful for technology.
Yes.
I've also said that technology makes us lazy, but that's a whole nother story. But you know, it's one of those things that has its benefit. It definitely has its benefits, and with what you have been doing, obviously you have been utilizing it for the good, to make things work better. You've been in the behind the scenes with a lot of different very reputable shows, including your own. And people really enjoy what they see and what they have seen come from you, and not even realize that it came from you. But now, guess what? You're exposed. So, so that's the deal there. Now, this last one, the H, I wanted to make sure I did this one too, because again, this goes back to the connectors. This goes back to some of the work that you've done, even as you've interviewed countless celebrities. Obviously, you know, you've been out there. And just to give some of those names: Kevin Hart, Kirk Franklin, Ruben Studdard. I get sometimes people tell me I look like Ruben Studdard a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. No.
Megan Good, Drew Hill. You know, we got Boris Kajo music. That's my man there. I love his song, his music. Mary J. I'm say Mary, Steve Harvey, Will Smith, Terry Crew, Vivica Fox, and there's a ton more. So just in those different ones, and your dedication to producing, which and you know, doing these TV shows, it's just the fact of, like I say, all these different things are ingrained in you. You wear many hats across the board, and obviously I could say out of all these different hats that you wear, obviously the social media, I would say, is the one that you really love the most. Is that fair to say?
Is it fair to say it is the one that pays the bills?
Hey, you know what? There ain't nothing wrong with that, because that's the one that really, really counts, right? So that's hey.
Well, they say you do what you love, you never work another day. It is, to me, social media. When I fell in love with it, it was like, whoa, I can't leave it. It's something I do. Like I said, to be able to do it, make money at it, and I used to hide. I don't know why. I used to hide all this and didn't tell people. When I worked at Former Mills, I didn't, people may know, but I was, certain people I would reach out, and they would, a lot of people got modeling jobs at Former Mills. I reached out to my network to make sure if I go, we all go, make sure we all do that kind of thing. But I didn't really go around telling people all of this. So I didn't tell people, now I probably would, I'm the social media person for, now we have to tell people in order to build your repertoire, build your resume. But I thought I was going to be there, so I didn't need to have to do that. I didn't need to have to shout it from the rooftop, this is what I'm doing.
Right.
But I used to hide that, and I've been at Fridays for, I would say maybe 5 years, and I didn't tell people, I don't walk around saying, I'm the social media person for Friday, not just here, but Maryland, North Carolina, but I feel like it's important now that I'm venturing into new things by being a social media consultant or a coach, that I tell you this now because it was true, it's facts, but to help you understand that if you buy a course from me, or if you hire me as a consultant, I have not just done this for myself. I've done this for multi-million-dollar companies that entrusted me, paid me, and are still to do their work. So hire me as a consultant. Listen to what I have to say. I do know a little something about what I'm talking about when it comes to social media and building a presence online. So now it's important to say these things because I'm expanding what I'm doing. And I want people to know, listen, I have done this. And I got the letters to prove it. I've got the history to prove that this is what happened. So that's why I tell people now. Now, this is why when you contact me, this was in my head that I'm expanding, and I need people to know if you hire me, if you take a chance with me and you pay me promotions, marketing, whatever it is, understand that I've done it for companies and I do understand it.
And that's a beautiful thing in itself, because right off the bat, it's no secret um, that because you're a woman, and then on top of that, a black female, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or African American female, people may try to pass you over, but then your repertoire speaks for itself. Your resume is outstanding. So they can't overlook that, because you are it. You can make things happen for them, and you know how to do it. Instead of going with their homies who will sit down and try to figure it out, whereas to you could have already came in, done the job, went on about your business to the next client.
You know what
So
though? Sometimes it's not even them hiring their homies. They'll go to this corporation, this company, and it may be others, and they'll say, "Oh, okay, I'm going to hire this company." And you're like, "Wait a minute, I've told you this, I gave you this idea, I get, just as friends being there, and you'll hire this company as opposed to hiring my company." And those things to me, it just was like, wow, why would you do that? What makes you? Why would you give them the opportunity as opposed to me? Maybe you don't see it, so maybe it's up to me to make you see that I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for a lot of years.
and and that is definitely where more people really need to speak up, and I'm glad that you are actually doing that, because one of the things, like I said, people need to know who you are and what you're doing and what you have done and what you're continuing to do, because um, like I said, until I started reading all the different things and started really following you, I had no clue. And then I'm like, wow, holy smokes, she got it going on. So
Thank you.
that's the deal there. So that part has been, all the success that you had and the things that you're doing, and it's great to know someone who is actually doing well and living well from this thing we call social media. That's a beautiful thing. Um, the other thing I wanted to talk about too is how you inspire. You inspire so many behind you who watch you. You not only now this is going into the personal side of this is going into the other side of you, where you are really focused on your health and wellness. And I've seen you out there early in the morning running around with someone, with your trainer or someone, punching the bags and all that. And I said, boy, she must be upset because she punching them bags kind of hard early this morning. She don't think she wanted to get up.
I don't. Man, I don't like working out.
I hear that. But I commend you for that, and I commend you for putting your story. It's like a what is it? A live blog of your success and everything that you're doing on that front. And because you got a lot of people who are afraid to show what they're doing and show the success that they're doing and how they're doing it. So what information, what direction, what can you tell someone who wants to do it, but is afraid because they're for the fear of what society may think or what their friends may think or whatever?
Well, I say to them, are you afraid to die? And if you don't work out, we die. It's not as literal as that, but working out helps save your life. Working out keeps you fit. Working out increases your life. So I may not get it right all the time, and I say don't ever think it as it's a marathon, not a sprint. I don't get it right all the time. I don't, but I know that if I get it wrong here, I know I have a plan to get it back because I set my mind. My mind changed. I realized that I saw the benefits. I don't like it. I'm never going to say I like working out. No, I don't like it. But I saw the benefits of working out. I saw that it helps you throughout the week. It helps your body, it helps your limbs, it helps your face, it helps you look better and feel better. Not just about losing weight. It's not just because I'm not necessarily losing weight. I did at one point, but right now during COVID, it wasn't about losing weight. It was just trying to keep active because we're sitting. All we're doing is sitting. Well, that's me. I'm always sitting at a computer, always sitting. So I literally felt the difference. When we weren't going anywhere for a long time, I felt my body change. I felt my limbs change. I felt age coming. And it's like, wait a minute, I'm young. But I felt it coming because we're sitting. And I had to get back out there and do something. Had to get back out there and move because it was affecting my life. And it's not, like I said, it's not just about losing weight because that's not happening. But I need to stay active. And I see the difference in my feet and everything like that. So it is a marathon. It is not a sprint, and it's not easy. And you have ups. It's like ebbs and flows. It goes up and goes down. So it's like a whole lot of ebbs and flows. And some weeks you're perfect, and some weeks you're not. Some weeks you're up. But if you set your mind to say that no matter what, I am going to do this. No matter what, I am going to continue this journey. No matter what, I gotta stay healthy because I got a lot to do. God is trusting me. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, and I have to take care of the temple that He's given me.
That's beautiful advice. Beautiful advice. And as it relates to this pandemic, I'll be the first to tell you. About 2 weeks into this thing, when they told us that we could not leave the house, and that first 2-3 weeks was rough for me. And I gained, in those 2-3 weeks, I gained 15 pounds.
I did too. No lie. I did. I gained weight. And I can't believe it. I don't understand. And I didn't eat. It wasn't like I don't know about you, but I wasn't eating crazy at all. I couldn't understand.
Yep. I gained 15 pounds and I was not doing anything different. And I was like, what in the world is going on here? And I had to check myself. And I was like, you know what? I got to do something, So I started moving a little bit more. And then I also changed, even though I was not really eating bad or anything. I did change the way my food consumption. I dropped it down a little bit more to get rid of that 15 pounds again. But I was like, oh, my God, this doggone thing is putting weight on everybody, just sitting here, because like you say, you're not moving. You're not motivated because now you got something else in your mind that's really monopolizing your spirit to do something for yourself, because now you got this thing that's bugging you, that's out there, that's harming so many people. And you got all that on your mind. And then you tend to do what we all do. And that is you wind up setting yourself aside. And once you set yourself aside, now the problems start. So I appreciate you for that advice because
not even that. We probably took advantage. We take for granted the movements it takes. So if we're sitting here every day, we take for granted the movement, even though going out to work or whatever event is not exercise. But because even though we were not eating more, we might have been exercising in the house. But there's so many steps that were taken away. That's the getting up, getting dressed, putting your clothes on, going to get in your car, getting in your car, getting out of your car, doing this, doing that. These are so many movements that we didn't have. So in addition to our regular exercise and eating right, look at all those movements. And then the fact that our bodies like being out. So that's where all this weight came from, because look at all those movements. Get up, get out, get dressed, go. You hurry up, you get to your place. You go get your gas, you go do this, you go do that. You get back in your car, you come back in, you go back home. There's so many movements. And for so many months, those movements did not happen. You might have gone to the store maybe once. Well, me, I went to the store once a week maybe.
Mm-hmm.
To
Yeah.
go to the supermarket, not enough. There wasn't enough. So it's like so many movements we didn't have.
Right, right. Because I knew, like, my wife and I, being that it's just she and I here, um, and of course we have our granddaughter now during this pandemic situation, because of how our daughter's work schedule is, and her employer has set some guidelines for that. But you're right. We went from going to the store, like she and I believe in. I like when I cook. I like to cook the meats. Like if I go and buy meats, I like to buy the meats that day that I'm going to cook. Or if I don't cook
Oh,
that day, I want to cook them the next day. Um, but not no longer than 2 days. So I'd be going to the store every other day. And then that slowly got changed down to like once a week because it was mandated.
right.
So you're right. You lose all those movements, all these different ways to get your body going, get your metabolism going, get some fresh air in your body,
Mm-hmm.
which is essential as well. And you go down to nil, and next thing you know, here it is. So uh, this pandemic has truly, truly been something else. Now, as we
Yeah.
talk about the pandemic, what has been your take on this whole pandemic situation, as it relates from beginning to now, and the people that are lost, the whole deal? What's your whole take on that?
Oh, the pandemic was hard for a lot of people, and people lost loved ones. People were sad, and I feel for them. I feel for them, and I pray for them. But my take on it personally, I saw it as a gift. You know, it was a gift to me. It felt like a gift from God to get my life in order. All the pieces that's here, I was able to go like this and go like this and straighten them out. And now it all makes sense. And now I have a direction. And I was so busy, 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 busy that things were getting lost. So all the projects and all the ideas that I didn't have time to do, I now have time to do. Yes, I felt bad for those who lost. I mean, I felt so bad for people who are hurting, who lost their father, their mothers, their grandparents, and their kids, whoever they lost. I felt for them, and I prayed for them. But I also never took it as a negative thing. I took it as a way to get my life together and get my plans together and write the vision, make it a plan. I did my vision board. I started finishing. Started my book a while ago. Started finishing my book. I started doing everything that all those loose pieces
Mm-hmm.
were starting to come together. And I finally did, I didn't have the because I didn't have the clients in my ear. I was like, oh, I'm so free. It felt at points, I ain't gonna lie, it felt like freedom. Freedom,
Yeah.
freedom, freedom, freedom. I don't gotta do what you say. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it felt like freedom, and I was able to take courses so I can uh, create my course. I took 2 course creation courses. I got certified in constant contact. I'm a constant contact email partner. So people, that's a whole nother thing I would like to teach people. Like, social media is awesome. Great. We're going to have social media. But what if one day something goes down and you don't have the social media? How are you collecting the data of everybody? How are you keeping in touch with everybody? What are you doing to keep in touch? Do you have your own list? Content is king. Your list is king. How are you developing your list? How do I want to get a mass message out to my tribe, my people? It's email marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned. I took my test. I want to say I got 100, and now I'm a constant contact email marketing specialist. And with the constant contact, you get a free website. So you get email marketing and a website. But those are the things I did. That I got certified in advanced social media strategies. I got my certification in that. I have 2 other classes I've paid for that I'm still going to do it. Now that things have opened up, I've been out and about but I haven't had as much specialized. But I'm taking a Les Brown course, and
Okay.
I'm going to be certified in under Les Brown. Um, I took a course in, like I said, in course creation. So I created my courses, the outline, not necessarily, I'm not finished, but I created the outline, my book. And so when I say that I took it and did the best I could through God's strength to make sure it wasn't a bad thing, and it wasn't bad to me. Bad because of everybody else. Bad because some people don't like to be alone. Bad because, but to me, I live, I'm alone, and I celebrated it every day because I didn't have anybody to. I'm sorry for you parents. I mean, I'm not a parent. I only have kids, so I didn't have kids to take them to school or go online with them. I didn't have any of those distractions.
Right.
But I'm sorry for those who are going through it. I pray for you. I see you. But I thank God for my time that I was able to get my life in order to take that breather. Whew. It's like, whew,
Well,
release, relax, relate, release. So I relaxed, I related, I released.
I hear that. I hear that. And you know what? You're not the first person. You're not alone in that. I've asked several people, and they've had similar comments to the fact of course, they are very sensitive and show great sympathy for all the negative things that have happened during this particular time. But again, they say this is also kind of like a gift to give people a chance to collect themselves and to collect everything about themselves that is themselves and be able to get it in order and also utilize the time that they have uh, uh, for to the best of their ability so that then when it is time for everything for them to hit the streets again, they have everything prioritized and then they can move forward with a unique and very strong strategies. I myself have been kind of in that sentiment as well, to where even we've lost family members, and God rest their soul, and we've been praying for everyone around us, and and so on and so forth. But at the same time, it's afforded me the opportunity to do the same, just like you, to really collect my thoughts and just really prioritize a lot of things that I had going on. And so it's really, really made a difference. And because I don't want to, I asked, and I said to myself, I have all this free time on my hand. What do I do? Do I just sit here with this idle time and do nothing? Or do I take advantage? So I said one day, I said, thank you, Lord, for giving me the opportunity to do what I need to do and to catch up on the things that I need to do and to grow within myself and hopefully help someone around me grow. And that's been the case. So it's been good. And then, my wife, we've been able to connect and really go over her stuff. She's a college professor. So with her doing her work and the way she has to teach now. And then also, like I say, we have our granddaughter. It was just in the cards for even though we had she had a very close friend of the family who has a child care center where she was going. But then when the pandemic hit, they got shut down. So where was my granddaughter going to go? So that was all part of that fix there. So I totally see where I totally understand what you meant by that.
So did they open child care centers again?
They are open. They are open, but they have limitations. And with everything that has been going on, it's really kind of a hit and miss because you don't know the connection that child has. Because once they leave the center, they go back to their parents. But then who has their parents been around that day? Or who have any of their parents connected with? So it's one of those things where they have to be super careful. So at the present, until things get a little bit better, until everything, from my understanding, we're just holding on things the way they are right now. but eventually we may shift back into her going back to the daycare center. But we'll see how that all goes. But yeah, totally. You know, there's the definite downside to it all, but then there are some upsides to it, and it's just a matter of people identifying what that upside is and utilizing it properly. So, because you got a lot of people that they aren't doing that.
They're not. You know, my friend Nikki is a therapist, and she said that was the hardest time because so many people were going through it. So as a therapist, you're feeling the hurt and pain of so many because they can't. A lot of them can't do it, and I understand. A lot of people can't deal with it. They're angry, they're upset, they're sad, they don't have this, and you know they're looking at all the bad, and some people can't. And I feel for them. I do. I really do. But
Yeah.
God says, consider it all joy. And even though we're in it, you know, sometimes we talk about the good, and I don't mind talking about the bad. Sometimes we talk about the good and things are good, but understand that at the moment COVID hit, my clients are gone because they don't have money. Their businesses were shut down. So that means that took away all the income. But I knew God would come through.
Yes.
You know, I can't give you a testimony saying, hey, everything is good, good, good. It was good because my spirit was good. It wasn't because my situation was good. I still got a mortgage. I still got my car payment. I still got all of these things. But what God did, I said, God, I believe you. I trusted that at the end of this was going to happen. I didn't know how he was going to do it. I promise you I didn't know how he was going to do it. But when I say all income stopped, all income, my income stopped from each person. And it's like, that's right. I can't expect you to pay when this is happening. I can't expect the clients to pay. But I knew that instead of shifting and making myself, oh my God, what am I going to do? No, I said, I'm going to do this and believe and have faith that God is going to do this at the end. And he did it. And I'm a witness to doing it. But when I say there was no money coming in, there was no money coming in. There was no promise of money coming in. It was just believe, have faith that at the end of this, it's going to be all right. And it was tough. And then you figure mortgage stopped because they had the thing in place to, you know, whatever that thing is in place where they had the mortgages stop and you get, you know, credit or whatever they ask, they let you stop. My car note stopped. My gas, electric stopped. Every bill that I had stopped.
Yes. And you're like, where's this bill?
Everything stopped. They did not charge, even if they were charging you, they did not expect you to pay it at that time. So this whole time, your bills are on halt, your money's on halt, everything's on halt. So you gotta just believe. But I'm never going to sit here and act like everything was good because it wasn't. Money was not there. I was technically, now I ain't gonna say unemployed because I'm not gonna put that over my life. I did not have paying, the clients could not pay at that time. But now that it's over, all good. Unemployment was awesome.
I hear you on that.
So I feel like talk about the good, talk about the not so good, talk about the overcoming, talk about what God can do because I'm a witness. I'm a witness to what he can do.
Well, you can't have the good if you can't talk about the bad, because the bad is a testimony. It's education. You know, you go through some bad things so that you can learn. And once you learn, you're able to utilize what you've learned for the good to continue to move forward. You know, that's the key. If you know, and I've always said this numerous times, if I'm gonna have friends or be in any type of relationship, whether it's friendship or like with my wife or anybody, and we don't bump heads sometimes, and it's perfect, we're never gonna grow. You know what I'm saying? It takes us to bump heads to learn about each other, to see and identify ways and to understand and know, okay, this is what this is, and this is what this is. Now, let's come to the middle and compromise. And from that compromise, you learn. The compromise is the key. That is the education, because now you have grown and you've strengthened. Not only have you grown, but you've strengthened the bond. And now both of you continue to walk together, or a team of you, or whoever, you guys continue to walk together and wait for that next path to come, because it's going to come.
It's going to come.
It's going to come. But when it does, because of what you did previously, it now teaches you, hey, you know what? We can do this again, and we can make things happen again. So that's totally the plus behind all of that. So I look forward to the challenges, and I look forward to it because I always say, I set out every day when I put my feet on the floor, after I say, thank you, Lord, for another day, I always look forward to learning something new that day. So it's just, no matter how small or how large, so, and when I picked up my phone and looked down to that third picture, and who came up there? Shelly Shell came up there. And I said, you know what? I got to reach out to her. And then when you sent this information, and I was sitting, I was going, well, there's my education for the day. As a matter of fact, there's my education for the week, because I did not know she did all of this. I did not know that she was a very integral part behind the scenes on some of these shows and these TV shows and other things being so successful. So blessings to you for everything that you do. And I would, one of the other things I wanted to make sure I did is I wanted to go through your services. Okay. Now, I could read them, or you could just, or should I read them and then you could just kind of reiterate on?
Yeah, that would be good.
Okay. So again, revisiting about who you are, and you have your services, and it says Shelly Shell Williams, Philly's O.P.R.A.H, multi-award winning mediapreneur. I love that word. I love that word. When I saw that word, I was like, I love that word. Certified email marketing, media, and social media coach. Show you how to market your business through the power of media. Most popular speaking topics: using social media to bring authentic online relationships, how to monetize your podcast and media platforms, tips on repurposing your live content. Some people, when I saw that, a lot of people don't understand that you can have a live show, but if you don't know how to put it back out there or repurpose it, that's the one thing I'll give Facebook when it came to watch parties. Watch parties is a great tool, as you can set a watch party up for a live session that you did a week ago. You could set it up to have replays. And that was definitely a beautiful thing that they did. And here it has, we are convinced that Shelly has the secret sauce to help introverted business leaders and newbie entrepreneurs navigate the new era of social media in an effort to build authentic online relationships. Shelly is the powerful plug that's strong, that helps people connect and build authentic social media relationships that result in personal and economic prosperity. All of that, I would say is true. And that is you. So you want to elaborate more on your services?
I would say, it took a lot of soul searching. When you've done a lot, you got to soul search and you go through this background music. Sometimes the background music says, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough. But you have to overcome the background music and I had to start figuring out who I was, what I bring to the table, and what I can do. Building relationships, number one. It's not about making the money. It's not about this, that. It's building relationships. I have built relationships that will be forever. And will these relationships lead to money? Yes, they do sometimes. Yes, as they say, yes, honey. No, I'm just, yes. Some relationships will lead you to the door that opens up to your future. Some relationships will be the door that opens you up to maybe your boo if you're looking for a boo. Mm-hmm. Some relationships will just lead you to the bestest friend in the whole wide world, and some relationships will lead you to your business partner. You never know what it does. But if you set out on social media or anything you do to build relationships and not money. So my goal as a social media consultant and coach is to help you build authentic relationships. Not saying I just need these likes and I just want to show this and I got to twerk. This is to show you that if you do what it takes to build relationships and not just go after what's in it for me, what's in it for me, what's in it for me. That's the number one thing. When in school and college or whatever, what's in it for me, OPM, other people's money, that was what they're drilled into your head. But social media, the way God is, and that's my program and that's what I'm building, social media God's way. Because if you do it God's way, it says, I give. It says, I do, I be, and I connect and love people. So if you do it with those thoughts in mind, it's going to come. Good things are going to come. Followers are going to come. Likes are going to come. Money's going to come. If you do it with the right heart, if you do this and you tackle this with the right heart, then you will get everything you want. So I'm not the social media person that's going to say, I can help you increase your income to this and this and this, and then it doesn't happen. I've taken these courses. But if I say to you, I can help you get inside of yourself and decide to be authentic. You be authentic. Put out authentic messages that will help you build authentic relationships that will bring you like-minded people that will help you in your business. You will find that door that's going to open up, and that's going to be the door to what you need. That client, that business, whatever it is going to open the door. So if anybody's out there looking for, you're a newbie at it. I only want newbies. I don't want people who think I did this before. I did this. No, I want some newbies who's new to this. And if you might be a little older, you might be in the 35 and up range, and you haven't understood social media, and you want somebody to help you guide you through. I am here for that. I have consulting. I have hourly rates, and I have a course that I'm working on, but I can help and guide you. If you're looking for email marketing, once again, it's powerful. It's the powers in the list. Where's your list? Who are you using for email marketing? They have other ones. They have MailChimp, Vertical Response. They have so many others. But why I chose Constant Contact, and it's not because I'm a partner of it, but I chose Constant Contact when I worked at Foreman Mills. Foreman Mills didn't have it either. I instituted Constant Contact, and what I liked about it was the customer service. I can pick up my phone and get them any question I have. And the craziest thing is, one time I was flying from here to, I think it was Pontiac, Michigan. I was flying here to Pontiac, Michigan to do an event at one of the stores. And in between me getting here, the boss asked me to put this email out. I can't do it. I'm flying. There's no way. I had no way to do it. Call Constant Contact. The email was already set up. I can't do it. They did it for me. You can't. Wow. Loyalty. That's a company. To me, it was like, they saved me. They saved me at that moment. Because when my boss says they want it done, they don't want to care whether you flying through the air to get to somewhere. They want to make sure it gets done. So they had my back. They did it for me. There's customer service. So if I had to pick anything, customer service trumps anything else for me.
Yes.
Been loyal to them ever since, I think that was 2014 that I started working with them. And then when I started out just being an entrepreneur without Foreman Mills, I went to them. It costs money. Yeah, you can go here, and it don't cost money. But I went here, it costs money. Customer service means more to me than that. I'd rather spend my $21 a month and get what I need. Can you help me? Can you help me do this? Can you do this? And they're nice and kind and sweet, and you know what I mean? Wow. What else could you want? So I'm hands down, not because I'm a constant contact partner, but because I believe in the product. So if you're looking for somebody for email marketing, if you're looking for, and if you don't understand what email marketing is, definitely contact me. If you have a business, you should have some type of email marketing system, some type of CRM, some type of system that collects emails, some type. And then when you collect the emails, you want to send newsletters out. You want to send something out so people can see what you're doing, right? Not just on social media, but building your tribe, your list, your thing. So if one day you can't get to social media, you have your own list of emails inside of your content marketing, inside of Constant Contact. So that's my Constant Contact thing. I like I said, it is true. It's like customer service is all I need.
So in terms of constant contacts, can they, of course, you could get them all set up on that. But do you have, when it comes to the constant contacts, are you connected to where you send them to the training, or do you provide the training? I just want to make sure we clarify that as it relates, or do you do that as just you bring them on as a client and you do all the consulting to the level of what you received from them?
It depends on what they want. But the first thing is, it's self-explanatory, so you can do it yourself. All I'm doing is giving you my link and saying, hey, sign up. If you sign up for Constant, I'll put it underneath for this. You sign up for Constant Contact through me, you go through, it's self-explanatory, and you can sign up. But if you need extra help, I can help you and be your email marketing consultant, where I help you design newsletters, help you design what you need to send out to the world, right? If you need that. But it's so easy to me to get their help without having to pay. And so it depends on what level you're on. But if you're on this level, all you do is make a phone call and they help you through, they walk you through it right there. No extra money, no extra time, no extra nothing. They can do it. But yes, I can be your consultant. I can help you do it. I can help you put your newsletters together. I can help you with all of that if that's what you need. Depends on what level you're on and what you need help with. It can all be done. But I suggest everybody, if you have a business, a media platform, whatever it is, sign up for Constant Contact and have email marketing a part of your thing. When it comes to email marketing, if I have an email list, and suppose like with my 30 interviews in 30 days, I'm going to send this out to 30 to all my list, 30 interviews in 30 days. I want people to upgrade to this, and I want them to pay. That means I can reach them directly. Sometimes on social media, although I love it, the algorithms are set up that some people can miss it. Mm-hmm. Some people, it's set up that maybe 5% of who you have following. If I have 10,000 followers, maybe 5% of my 10,000 followers can see my message, because that's the algorithms and that's how it's set up. With email marketing, I've gathered this information. I gathered these people. I send an email out. I'm getting their attention right there. My tribe, my people. So that's just another layer. There's no either or. It's both. Why either or? Why leave money on the table? Get it all. Get all that money. So do it all. I suggest that. And that's part of what I'm doing. The thing that I'm launching right now, and the reason why I'm doing 30 interviews in 30 days is because I'm launching the Indie Black Media Network. And I'm hoping that DJ Square Knot, that you will be a part of my Indie Black Media Network. Is a collective of Black independent media. Because so often we are overlooked, so often we're not considered big, but together we are bigger together, right?
Yes.
So Indie Black Media Network, I want everybody who has a podcast, YouTube, internet radio station, live broadcast, whatever it is that's your media, print media, if it's your media, join my network. There's a Facebook group, Indie Black Media Network. Join the group and be a part of the network, because then when I talk to a sponsor, I'm going to say the ones who are key people and things like that. I have somebody in this area, this area. I've already spoken to sponsors. They love the idea. I just have to grow it. I just launched it. I have of course, I have my media kit. I have my Instagram, Indie Black Media Network, Facebook group, Indie Black Media Network, website, working on it right now. Now I'm just gaining the members. My first member is Ralph McDaniels. I don't know if you're from New York.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You're from New York. Yes. New York. Ralph McDaniels is the first member.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The first featured member. He's the first featured member where he, because he did this before me. Ralph McDaniels is a legend, man. He's such a legend. So he's my mentor, Ralph McDaniels. So he's the first featured member of Indie Black Media Network, and he was the first one I reached out to because I admire his work. Like I said, he has the longest running video show in the world. Mm-hmm. Video Music Box. Anyway, so you see what excites me sometimes, right? There's people I love people, and I draw from them, and I gain all of this energy from them because Ralph McDaniels, as successful as he is, mm-hmm. he has never, ever not helped somebody else. He has never not reached back. When I wanted to interview with, his name just escaped my brain. Damon John. So sorry. I don't know why that just happened. But when I wanted to interview, I know them from, they were one of our sponsors back when we were doing Urban Expressions, but we were at this big thing, and I did the interviews with Carl and Jay Alexander and Keith Perrin. They're all four founders. There's four founders of FUBU, just in case you don't know. It's four of them. Right. Damon John, of course, is the one everybody knows. But Damon was tired. He had just did all these speaking things like this. But I standing with Ralph McDaniels, mm-hmm. and he said, this your friend? This your people? People got my interview. Just like that. That's how you know he didn't have to do that.
Right.
That's the power of Indie Black Media Network, connecting to people who don't mind helping you, connecting to people who will help you. I remember another reason why I'm doing Indie Black Media Network. I remember this day. It was a media day, and they called everybody in 3610. Well, out my way is 3610. All the major networks and all the indie networks, right? There's the whole big press day, right? All these people here at once, right? The artist comes in, and at press day, you do one. You do one at a time. Boom, boom, boom. So this particular artist decides do major. And that's all they did was major. All these independents here. We're waiting here for hours. I'm short. You can't tell, but I don't know. Very short. So I heard them talking above me, not knowing I was here. And they were talking. And the person said, I only have room to do two more. And I said, can you do ours? We've been here all day. Can we be the two? And I'm looking up like this. Can we be the two? And the artist says, all right, and walks out and didn't do it.
Wow.
We waited here all day. I'm black. You're black. You went to every other outlet, but the black ones your black independent ones that you had call in. We sat here for hours. That's our gas. That's our time. That's everything. We just did all, and I spent hours, and I heard you say, I only got time to do two more. Can we be one of you too? That's it. I heard you. I heard what you said. Can we be one of you too? You walk out and I don't get the interview. So that let me know how people look at independent media sometimes. They look, if you're not on this national level, if you're not here, then I'd rather go here because they have bigger numbers, they have bigger this. And I'm saying, I love the power of people. I want to interview people because people lead me to people. You don't have to be a celebrity. Your story has power. Your story has impact. You have a story. And I'm not going to chase after this because I remember that day. I remember it. And that's not the first, that's not the only one. That's the one that hurt me the most, hurt my heart. It hurt my Will heart. It hurt me because I was like, oh, sister. I ain't going to say who it was. I'm sorry. I left it neutral because I don't even care to broadcast who it is, but it's somebody.
Gotcha. Well, you could definitely count me in. Of course, I'll
Thank
speak
you.
to you more about it and learn more about it as well. But it definitely sounds exciting, and I'm always down to work and network. I love to network. I love to learn and grow. Like I tell you, that's my thing.
Me
So
too.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
all for it, and being able to build together and build something that's positive, something that when we get together and we collaborate, just the amount of power that comes out of that team. And as long as we stay focused and not allow it to be torn down, you can just imagine, just see where it can go and project that, so that when we get there, we already have put that's already ingrained in that period, that place, for us to then project even further out. So
Mm-hmm.
I really, really am looking forward to that for sure. So thank you for that. Thank you for inviting
Thank
me.
you.
Thank you
Hmm?
for inviting me on that for sure. So you talked about constant contacts. I want to make sure I hit all points.
Okay.
You are a media specialist.
Yes.
So, and we got that with the constant contacts. But then, of course, I see you on IG doing things. I see you on Facebook doing things. Now, of course, I remember back when these things were launched, everybody was like, oh, a company has to have a Facebook, a company has to have an IG, a company has to have a Twitter. What is that still the same now? Or, where's the take on all of that?
Yeah, you still should have all of that.
Hmm.
Like I said, it's like leaving money on the table. You
Right.
have to have a mix of everything. Now, you can concentrate hard on building maybe one or two so you're not making yourself thin. So I concentrate on IG, Facebook. So I'm not wearing myself thin. But I do have a presence on the others like LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest. I have a presence because I try to do it all. But yes, build your network on the bigger ones like IG, maybe TikTok or whatever your target market is. But why leave money on the table? If
Right.
it's eyeballs there, you want to be seen.
Yeah.
If it's people that you can connect with, then why not connect with them? So yes, have it. And if you can't get a website, you can have a Facebook. You can't have this, you can have, get in touch with me through IG, through Facebook.
Yeah.
Definitely important. Definitely important when you're building a brand to get your message out there and to collect emails. That's just the way to collect emails. Some type of system to collect emails, a landing page, something.
Yeah, and I know I heard you mention about don't leave money on the table, but I asked that question again just to make sure that people understand that, and they didn't get it confused with the whole with constant contacts, because constant contacts is an awesome tool. I've used it in the past, and especially when I worked for this nonprofit, we used it. We've used vertical response and Mailchimp, and
Yeah.
so all of them, I've seen all of them, and especially me. I'm a technology specialist, 31 years plus. So I had to be in the midst of all of it as it related to the company that I worked for and working on their marketing scheme in a lot of cases. So, but yeah, I definitely wanted you to pretty much reiterate that you definitely want to continue to have those social media outlets, but also you bring up a good point about what happens if all that goes down. The money is in the list that you have. So, and they have to understand that. And I'm glad that you're speaking about all of this now. And I'm glad that you're speaking at it from an expertise point. You know, you are the expert. You are letting people know that you have the expertise in that. And again, that's another one. That's that big hat that you're wearing, you know. And I want people to really look at you and understand exactly who Shelly Shell is and how powerful and how valuable you really are, and what an asset you could really be to any of these companies, especially whether they're startups, whether they're already in, or any of that. So, you know, I just want to make sure that that is known for sure.
Thank you. I thank you for allowing me to this opportunity. Like I said, I don't get a chance to speak on these things often because people put me in this box. But I appreciate it. I thank you for allowing me to do it. And you know, let's keep growing together. Yes.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So, before we close out, is there anything else that you would like to share with us that we don't know? Is there any other little secrets, any little tidbits about Shelly Shell that we should know?
I like karaoke.
Karaoke, okay, okay. What's your favorite song?
um, Depending on what crowd it is, my go-to song when I went to Chicago on one of my trips for Foreman Mills, uh, I went to this. It was called the something frog, blue frog, or whatever it was. It was a famous thing in Chicago. And when I went in there, nobody had to know me. I went over and took over and sang "Darling Nikki," "Darling Nikki" from Prince.
Yeah.
Why that's my song, I don't know, but I know every word. I can sing it. And when I say it brought the house down, I brought the house down. Philly, I'm like screaming, Philly in the house. And I'm singing this song. But that's my song out of everything. My coworker was there watching me to filming it, and I was just in I was able to be me. Like it didn't matter because nobody knew me. I could sing this song, and it was fun. So I loved karaoke. When we do our single on the Saturday Night Live, we have karaoke after the show. After we do the talking part, we break down and do karaoke with DJ Smooth. That's a thing. That's a thing. That's a thing I love. I miss it. I miss it a lot. What else? I don't know. What other secrets? Do I have any secrets? I don't know if I have any other secrets. That's a good one right there.
So, if I were, do you have an iPhone or an Android?
I have both.
Okay. So,
But
do
if
you
I had to put the two together, and I was going to do this, I was going to do a post about this, putting the two together, I am team Android all day. Team Android all day. I could sit this
Yeah.
iPhone to the side, and this Android is the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
And I can say, people say, I'm team this, I'm team this. I got both, and I can tell you, no. I love my Android.
So, um, with your playlist, if I were to look at your playlist, what would be the top 10 songs in your playlist right now?
The top 10 songs in my playlist. That's funny. Let me see. The Wiz, the Wiz soundtrack.
Okay.
The Wiz soundtrack.
Good.
Beyonce.
Okay.
Um, what else is it? Of course, uh, gospel music. Can't remember the song. It's come gospel music, but it's pretty much weird. The weird stuff. I like, like I said, I like the Wiz, and so the whole soundtrack is in my phone here. And I don't keep much music on my phone because it takes up so much space. But let me see. Let me go to my playlist, music library. Uh, that's funny. The Fighting Temptations was Beyonce's song.
Mm-hmm.
The Roots,
Salute.
featuring Jaguar Wright, but it's just the one song. The one from The Best Man. It's what you want, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you need. That's on my playlist.
Cool.
Usher.
Okay.
Usher. But it's a gospel song. I don't know why I don't know the song, but it's this one gospel song. It was a song by independent group. When we do the video show, we used to travel to California, and all the video shows would get together for the award show,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where we won the Billboard Awards. And there was this group. It was called something edition, and they had this song called Anything Is Possible, and I don't think you'll ever hear it anywhere else, but it was the most amazing song. So I found it even after all those years. I found it on my I found it, and it's called Anything Is Possible. I love that song, but you won't, I mean, nobody would know about it. It was just one of those independent. See, that's another thing. We have independent artists hand out CDs and things like that. I kept it. I loved it. I kept going. It's my song. I will trust in the name of the Lord. That's another one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thing. It's very, very different. Everybody would think, oh, I'm hip hop. It's no hip hop. I don't think I have one hip hop song on here. Although I do like old school hip hop, but it's not on my national playlist.
Cool beans. And speaking of networks, I just wanted to make sure I mentioned this as well. On your media kit, I see Fox 2 News, Telemundo, Apple TV, Spotify, NBC News. You've already said Billboard, Files by Verizon, Comcast, Xfinity, Scoop USA, to name a few. So,
I did not name Scoop. You're right. I am a columnist for Scoop USA newspaper, black newspaper, one of the first black newspapers in Philadelphia. Definitely a columnist for that. And a new magazine just picked me up, Be Whole Health magazine. When that comes out in October, I have the feature on that one.
Cool beans.
And that is big. That's big, amazing for me. I never knew I was a writer, but apparently I must be.
Skills.
I know that's one of those things I did not know. That kind of happened. Well, everything just kind of happened because God orchestrated and he designed it. So yeah, that's grateful good. Though. Grateful for all the blessings. So yeah, that's that one.
Cool beans. So we've learned so much about you today.
I hope you were listening and you weren't bored. If you're interested, depending on what you want. What you want. Depends on really what you want. What's what you want, babe? I don't know. Depends on what. It depends on what you want. If you're interested in business, I am business. I love music, and I know everybody wants to come to me with their music. I'm music. I love music, but I'm more business. How can we make business work? How can I help you create business? If you are a podcast, TV show, internet show, how to take that and make it a business. That's what we did. My claim to fame was taking a television show and making it a business model. Whereas, hey, we're here, we got the mic, we got the artists, we got the celebrities. I'm like, yes, let's get the money. Let's figure out how to make it a business. So my book, the cover is just done yesterday. It's called The Media Hustle. It's just business.
Cool beans. I was going to ask you that just before we closed out, and so it's called The Media Hustle. It's just business.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Thank you.
Really like that. Has a good flow and it has flavor to it. So, yeah, that's good. So, I know I've taken up a lot of your time because, you know, it's all we going on almost 2 hours.
Hey, I mean, listen, I don't know if you're listening to me out there, whether you care to listen to me out there. But thank you for listening if you are.
Yes, indeed. So I really appreciate you. And, you know, the notes, I took a lot of notes on you.
Did you?
Oh yeah, and you know, as that's why you see me from time to time. I was looking down. I like to take notes as I speak. You know, interview and talk to individuals so that I can, you know, go back and kick out some of those key points. And um, I'll go like this: You're truly a woman of God, no doubt. You have a beautiful spirit, extremely impactful, extremely passionate, beautifully and phenomenally strong, and without a doubt, most definitely, utmost, you are super duper helpful. You know, and with those attributes right there, if people don't want to work with you, they got to be crazy because you are the person that people just should want to stand near, just so that you can they can rub shoulders with you. You know what I'm saying? Because you have that thing about you, that thing that's in you that um, makes you that inspiration, that aura, that thing that could help someone just by them sitting back and just watching you. Just like I watched you, you've helped me. You know, just in sitting
Amen.
back and really talking to you and learning more about you, you've really helped me. And just imagine the number of people that will watch this and they will come in. We've had several people come in and say hello that you know from Facebook. Um, but I tell you, it's just been really beautiful to have you. I'm glad we did this. I'm glad that we were able to take time for Shelly Shell because you pour into so many, and it was time for you to allow yourself to be the one who is the on the center stage. You need to be focused. It's time for us to focus and look at you. So, and with that
Thank
just
you.
came out. You're like a beacon of light with all this knowledge that comes out, and you just spreaded it. And that was just really, really. This has just been truly, truly beautiful. So I
Thank
can't say
you.
enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
No,
Uh,
thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
yes. And you and I, we will definitely chat about the Indie Black Network. We will definitely connect on all of that so that we can learn. I can learn more about that. And then from that, be able to just build, because I'm all about the network. I'm all about
Yeah.
helping people as well. And I'm ready to learn from you. I'm ready to learn from you
Thank you.
and ready to help you in any way I possibly can as well. So um, let's work. Let's
That's
do
work. Thank you. Thank you so
let's
much
do
for giving me the opportunity. You're right. People they don't let me talk enough. But thank you so much for allowing me to talk and tell my story. I appreciate you. I really, really do. And like I said, to God be the glory because only He knew.
Yes,
Only He knew what was needed. And only He knew what was in my heart. And thank you for allowing God to use you in such a mighty way. Thank you.
yes, I appreciate that. So we will say we have this beautiful woman of God with all these different attributes that I have mentioned. And she is just a powerhouse, someone that you got to get to know. Even if, like I said, you just need to stand to her and just rub shoulders with her, hold her hand, shake her hand, get to just understand what she has to offer. She's coming to you and she's coming to you about business. Now, when we say business, we mean being real. So just make sure you understand that as well. Business is business, and she can help you with that. She can help you with that. Look forward to connecting with her. Look forward to seeing what she has to offer. Look forward to the new book that's coming out. Everything. Keep your eyes on this young lady here and follow her on all her social media outlets. And what are those social media outlets again?
Okay. Instagram is at Shelly Shell Williams. On Facebook is at Shelly Shell Williams, Philly's Oprah. That's my Facebook page. And my website is Shelly Shell Williams. And if you understand branding, the goal is to have your same name throughout everything. Shelly Shell Williams.
There you go. And on that note, we will say have a good evening. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And we really enjoyed these past 2 hours. This has been truly, truly a blessing.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right.